Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with a review of the new Meek Mill album entitled Expensive Pain. Let's get to it. Alright, so Meek Mill. He is a Philly rapper, businessman, and criminal justice advocate. He emerged on the rap scene in the 2010s with artists like Kendrick Lamar, Drake, J. Cole, Big Crit, and Big Sean. Whether you love him or not, Meek Mill is someone who is important to the culture. Even though I don't think he has a classic album to his name, he is an artist who I have respect for as he has had to overcome a lot of setbacks in his career, whether it being legal or industry rap beefs. Also, his Dreams and Nightmares intro is one of the greatest hip hop intros of all time. That is undeniable. I mean, you play this at any club or venue and you're going to shut it down. You know, people are going to get litter than lit. So this new project, Expensive Pain, is Meek Mill's fifth studio album and follow up to his 2018 projects, Championships. Now, it actually liked Championships quite a bit and consider it to be one of his better albums along with Wins and Losses. But for this new album, Meek enlisted the following producers: Cardo, Fuse 808, Boy Wonder, Nick Paps, Xander, Take Heath, Vinyls, and 30 Rock, as well as some others who I am unfamiliar with. When talking about the features, he recruited the following: Lil Durk, Lil Baby, Kalani, ASAP Ferg, Moneybagg Yo, Giggs, Young Thug, Vori, Lil Uzi, and Brent Faiyaz. So no one too interesting or different from any other industry or commercial album. These are features that you would get on a DJ Khaled compilation. So yeah, it's about as cookie cutter as they come. This project contains 18 tracks and lasts just shy of an hour at approximately 55 minutes. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. On the intro, Hate on Me, Cardo flips the classic Nas sample, Hate Me Now, and I feel you can't really go wrong with such a sample, and it was a strong and energetic way to kick things off. Yeah, I really have no complaints as I feel this is a solid intro. Meek just has this knack for putting out banging intros. Track 2, Outside, also contains a beat from Cardo that is very bass heavy. It's a solid backdrop for Meek to spit his ferocious and frenetic raps. He did switch up the flow a little bit, which I thought was cool. Now, from a lyrical perspective, he wasn't really saying a whole lot, just some surface level bragging. I don't have an issue with this as it is a pretty straightforward banger, but I didn't necessarily find it to be too memorable either. So with the next track, On My Soul, Meek decided to take the melodic auto crooning route. Now I did like the laid back piano beat from Fuse 808, but it did come across as something tailor made for Lil Durk. So I can understand Meek wanting to experiment with a new sound, but everything about this track screams Lil Durk. In fairness, the hook is pretty catchy and it's not a bad song overall, but it just really wasn't what I had hoped for from Meek in 2021, if I'm being honest. Now, track 4, Sharing Locations, actually does feature Lil Durk and Lil Baby. I did like the back and forth between the three, and I could appreciate the chilling vocal harmony in the background. But this track sounded like a leftover from the Lil Baby and Lil Durk album, The Voice of the Heroes. It ultimately felt more like a Lil Baby and Durk song that featured Meek. The following song, Expensive Pain, finds Meek doing a bit of venting and self-reflection. It is set to a tranquil and mellow instrumental that is very soothing. I did like the production here. Meek raps, got me switching up my flow again, switching up my hoe again. Everybody been changing, got me switching up my bro again. So behind all the money and luxuries, Meek still finds himself unable to wash the pain away. He even addresses his mental health on the following lines. She see me cuddle with my stick and said, boy, you need some therapy. And I can't lie, I probably do, because I still have dreams of dudes airing me. Track 6, Ride For You, featuring Kalani, is pretty much your standard run-of-the-mill relationship record. I think this samples from Lloyd and Ashanti's Southside. There are probably going to be some folks that like this one, but I'll personally never have the urge to hear it again. Right after we get the banger Me FWN, which features ASAP Ferg. The skeletal and minimalist trap beat is fitting for both Ferg and Meek's aggressive flows, but I feel ASAP Ferg definitely outshined Meek in the flow department. All in all, I didn't have a problem with this record as it is a serviceable banger. The following song, Hot, featuring Moneybagg Yo, has a decent vibe, but it's nothing too distinct. I didn't care for Meek's verse at all, but I did like how Moneybagg Yo opened his verse with the line, hotter than Juvie in 99. Yeah, this one was okay. On the following, Love Train, we have melodic Meek striking again. I feel this one had potential, but it took a nosedive once the auto-tune kicked in. Like, why Meek? Yes, I do know that Meek Mill has experimented with auto-tune before on previous albums, but I just wonder who told him that it was one of his stronger suits. The subsequent Northside Southside featuring Giggs is actually pretty solid. The two are backed by an eerie, drill-like beat from Cardo. I don't really have any complaints with this one, as I like the dark beat and the Giggs feature was pretty solid. Immediately after is We Slide with Young Thug. This has a pensive piano beat from Tay Keith, which sounded a bit more refined than his normal bangers. Meek is auto-tuning it up once more, although I have to admit the hook was pretty catchy and it's not a bad song overall. It just doesn't really come across as a Meek record. Instrumentally and vocally, it sounds much more in step with the melodic Atlanta trap scene. The following record, Tweaking, ended up being one of the highlights. The samples from Blackstreet's No Diggity. It's another sample that's hard to lose with. I feel Meek's delivery was on point, more so with this beat than some of the other instrumentals. The bars weren't bad either, minus one of his 75 cringy Richard Millie references. The jewelry loud, but the Richard Millie plain. I let it whisper to them. But it was Vory who ended up being the high point of this song with his catchy hook game. Now, I necessarily didn't love what Vory brought to the table on the recent Kanye project, but I did like how he sounded here much better. Track 13, Love Money, is another forgettable auto-crooning record. The beat from Fuse 808 actually is pretty dope, but it's, again, more deserving for the likes of a Lil Baby or Lil Durk to keep it a buck. Now, track 14, Blue Notes 2, featuring Lil Uzi, serves as the sequel to Meek's Blue Note song from Dream Chasers 4. While the bars weren't bad, nothing lyrically grabbed my attention. I will say that the best part about the song was the production, as I really enjoyed the bluesy guitar. Track 15, Angels, R.I.P. Lil Snoop, is a heartfelt dedication to Lil Snoop, who was an artist on Meek Mill's Dream Chasers label. This was done in auto-tune, which I didn't love, but I'm not going to criticize the song as I can respect the genuine and meaningful sentiment behind the record. Track 16, Cold Hearted 3, is one of the better songs. Here, Meek pours out his pain in the form of one solid verse over an attractive ambient instrumental. Meek opens with the lines, I've been a gangster since like 5, since my daddy died. He also discusses the lack of love and loyalty in his immediate circle. I'm hanging around with billionaires, but every time I pop out a bunch of killers there, yeah, it's just money, ain't no feelings here. The second to last track is the emotional and introspective Halo, which features Brent Faiyaz. On this one, Meek gives us some of his most mature and poignant lyrical content on the album. He also has some thought-provoking and practical bars, like everybody competing on social media, shit is fake, all it did was make us greedier, I got it all and still be feeling needier. Then the album comes to a close with Flamer's Flow. Here he provides us with one freestyle verse over a punchy and anthem-like beat. I feel this was a strong way for Meek to wrap up the project as it finds him reconnecting with his early battle rap energy. Overall, I give this project a rating of a strong 2.5 to a light 3 mics. It is pretty obvious that Meek had Lil Baby and Lil Durk in mind when creating this album. It appeared that the two served as his main artistic and creative influences. While I can respect Meek's intent to stay relevant after his 3-year album absence, it did seem like in the process, his material ended up sounding more generic than ever. Sure, the vibes were fairly solid throughout, but there wasn't really a whole lot to write home about. It just showed us that Meek is able to replicate a formula that a lot of successful artists are using at the moment. I like and respect Meek as a person and artist, and I am rooting for him, but I found that lyrically and conceptually, this project was a regression from the more mature themes found on Championship. The storytelling and the more socially conscious material was not present on this album at all. In fairness, I do think there are a few bangers and decent tracks here and there, but as a whole, it was really hard to get too excited about this project. My favorite tracks include Intro, Hate on Me, FWM, We Slide, Tweaking, Cold Hearted 3, Halo, and Flamers Flow. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section below. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Meek Mill, Expensive Pain 1.